Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Amy and I am on a financial freedom journey with my family. I share all about that and more on my channel. Today we're going to be talking about our April budget. Hello spring, so excited for this month. I absolutely love April, May, June, all the spring and summer months. I love this type of weather. This is like my jam, especially in Wisconsin. I am over the cold. I am ready for baseball season and all of the fun that the spring brings. So super excited to do this budget this month. This is a pretty regular month for us. We really don't have anything out of the ordinary this month. April is a nice month because we don't really have any like recurring expenses that come up only in April. So it makes it a pretty easy budget for the month. So let's go ahead and get started. First category up here is our income. So my husband and I are both salaried at our jobs. So we do bring home about $7,300 a month, and that is after taxes, 401k, any of our deductions like health insurance, life insurance, dental insurance, all those things. So $7,300 is what hits our bank account every single month, with the exception of 2 months of the year where we get some extra paychecks because we do have a bi-weekly pay schedule. So $7,300 is primarily what we earn every single month. We do also typically bring in side hustle income from various sources. If you guys have watched my Debt Free Friday videos, I talk a lot about that in those videos, but we don't ever account for that. So that's just extra money that we put towards our financial goal that we're working on. And we are starting a new one this month, so that's really exciting. So let's go ahead and go down to our fixed expenses. So again, this is a pretty light month for us. We don't have a water bill. We don't have our car insurance. We don't have anything kind of extra that we sometimes have in our budget. So it's nice that we just have a really stable budget here with just like our baseline expenses. So first thing here is our mortgage. This will be for May 1st, our mortgage that's due on May 1st. So that is $25.27. Now again, disclaimer, if you have watched my channel before or not, or haven't watched it recently, we are paying more on our mortgage right now because we had an escrow shortage. So we are paying a little bit more than we will need to pay in the future, just to account for that shortage that we did have and then also correct it moving forward. We bought a new build house in August of 2022. And so our property taxes took a while to regulate and like become accurate. So we had to figure that out, but that's okay. We did have the option to do a lump sum payment instead of having it added extra to our mortgage, but we decided we did not want to pull money out of our savings. So we are just going to pay the higher bill for the next year, like 10 months left after this one. And then it'll go back down to what we kind of anticipated, which is around $2,300. So we're paying a little bit more right now, but that's totally okay. We knew this was coming, so we were prepared for this. Then we have our Peloton bike, so we do have to pay a monthly subscription for that. That's like in lieu of a gym membership or anything else that we would use otherwise. So I feel really good about that. We do use the app and the bike and all of that stuff pretty frequently, so it's nice to have. Next up is our internet. So we do have to pay our internet. We don't have any cable or anything. This is just our internet. We don't have anything extra. We do use a few streaming services, but most of those are on an annual basis. So like we have Disney Plus, and we do have Max right now, but we kind of switch off. If we want a streaming service, we'll get it for like a month and then cancel it. So we don't have a lot of like reoccurring subscriptions in our budget, which is nice. And I've definitely felt like that helps our budget out by not having like a ton of streaming services or like reoccurring expenses in our budget. I try to keep the reoccurring expenses as low as humanly possible. It's just something that really is like a pet peeve of mine to like have a ton of like the reoccurring. So like even our car insurance, we pay that biannually. So we pay that twice a year. That actually comes from our car sinking fund as well, if you guys are curious, but we do pay that biannually. So I just don't like the monthly. Like as much as I can get rid of that monthly expense, I would love to. So giving is our next category. So we do have a recurring donation to St. Jude that comes out every month in the amount of $100. And childcare, we pay this on the first of the month as well. And this is $585 for the month. We only have a few more months of this. My daughter's in a 4K program. It's not full day, so we do have to pay for like the other half of the day. So our last expense for this will be in June, and then we'll have the summer off, and then we are probably going to be, hopefully, as long as they have a spot, we're hopefully going to be starting my son in preschool starting in the fall. So the childcare will kind of disappear for a few months during the summer, and then it'll come back. So it'll be higher as well. So that's kind of unfortunate, but we've been planning for this all along. We knew we wanted to get my son in. He's been on the waiting list for multiple daycares for a while, and they just have not had a spot for him. But I did confirm with one of them that they should have a spot open for him in September. So fingers crossed that that'll work out. I get a lot of questions on that, like how do you guys work out your schedule? So my husband works in the restaurant industry. I don't talk about my husband or my kids or anything really, really personal a lot on my channel, but my husband does work in the restaurant industry, and so his hours are very variable, and they are typically like nights and weekends. So for the most part, he's home during the day. So yeah, he's able to help out with childcare. We do have some family that also helps out when we need them to, but that's not really often. We usually can just flex our schedules to like make it work with both of us. So that's how we've been getting around needing childcare full time. But again, hoping in the fall that all of our kids will be in childcare so that we can be a little bit more flexible with our own schedules and work more normal hours, at least for my husband, hopefully. So that's the plan. I know I get a lot of questions, so I did just want to address it because I feel like I haven't addressed it on my channel before, and that's mostly just because I don't typically talk about my husband or his job, just personal preference. He is not on my channel, so I don't like to like air his business out there, but it is relevant, so there you go. Next up and final on our fixed expenses, sorry if you hear baby feet in the background. My son is running out of the room. Next up and last on our fixed expenses is our electric and gas. I am doing something a little different on this than I have in the past, and I've talked about it on my channel before, but we actually signed up for budget billing. I've never done this before, so it's a little bit of like an experiment. I've never done it, so I don't know exactly how it works, but I did sign up for it. That starts in April, so our April amount will be $219. It'll be $219 every single month for the next year, and then it will like automatically recalculate for the next year. So I'm gonna try it and see how I like it. I was very skeptical that I would like it because I honestly, like, I prefer to just pay what we owe, but it's nice to have like the fixed expense, and it is like a little bit lower. So because our weather is so variable here in Wisconsin, our bills vary greatly. Like by, they can vary by like $100 to $150 in the like dead of summer and the dead of winter. And then like the spring and fall are very light because we have really nice weather here in the spring and fall. So we have like our doors open and we're not using heat or air conditioning in like typically like April, May, and then like, September, October. So it is nice that it like evens out to a lower amount. So we're going to try it and see how we like it. I will keep you guys in the loop and let you guys know if we do end up liking it. Obviously, if we do end up liking it, we'll probably do this forever, just to have like the reoccurring amount every single month the same. So we'll see. I'll tell you guys more about it and see how I like it. So total fixed expenses for this month is $3,536, and that leaves our remaining at $3,764. And now we're going to move up to our variable expenses. So personal spending, my husband and I both get $100 a month for personal spending. That is just what works for us. I have thought about potentially bumping this up. I might still do that. I don't know. I'm very tossed up about it. I feel like $100 each is enough, but I always struggle with like loosening the reins on us because we are in that, like, I still feel like we're a little bit in like the debt payoff mentality, even though we don't have debt and we haven't for quite a while. But I just feel like I struggle sometimes with like letting go. So we'll see. I'm going to leave it at 200 for now, and it'll be like a point of conversation for sure between my husband and I moving forward if we do want to increase this. Gas for our cars, $2.50 for the month. That's been working out great. Groceries, I am raising this. I talked about this in our February budget recap, I think. Yeah, $900. I'm just going to do that moving forward. I feel like that's fine. I might even increase it again to be completely honest. I just feel like I'm sick of thinking about our grocery budget all the time, like agonizing over it and like trying to like get cheaper items or trying to stretch things. Like in this season of life, we no longer have to do that. And I am so privileged and grateful that I'm able to say that, because there's been years and many years in our past that we have not been able to do this, but we are able to loosen the reins. And so I feel like it's acceptable or okay for us to do that right now. So that's what we're doing. I might increase this again to $1,000 in the next few months, especially over the summer. With all of our kids being home over the summer, it is incredibly expensive to feed all of them. And then also our house is like the hangout for all of our neighborhood friends a lot of the time. And so we are always hosting kids, and kids eat a lot. So we're going to have to reconsider this one probably for like June, July, and August, and I'll probably bump it up again. Fun and kids, this is a line item just for like anything extra with our kids. So both of our kids, our older kids, are playing sports starting in April. So we're going to be like snack parent and have like parties and all of that kind of stuff. So this is just like extra money that we can put towards whatever we need to for that month for the kids. Miscellaneous, we always do $200. That works out great. And then dining out, $250. Again, you know, I thought about raising this to $300, you guys, I have to be honest, but I was like, let's try one more month at $250. And then again, I feel like in the summer, I really need to like reevaluate for June, July, and August, because I think I need to raise our grocery budget and I think I need to raise our dining out budget, because to be honest, the summers are always really difficult for us with eating out and groceries because we're all over the place with sports. My son is playing travel baseball this year, and so we're going to be like really all over the place. So I'm going to reevaluate this for the next couple of months, probably starting in June. So variable expenses, that brings our total to $1,900 for the month, and that leaves our remaining at $1,864. Moving down to our sinking funds, we really don't change these an awful lot. They pretty much stay the same. I did decide to make one change that we've been doing recently permanent, so I'll talk about that in a second. Car, we do $50 a month. We do have a decent buffer in here, so I would normally do like probably $100 in here, but we do have like a decent reserve in this account. So I'm not trying to add like a ton to the car fund right now because we don't have any plans like to get a new car anytime soon or anything else. We actually just did a decent amount of maintenance on both of our cars, so they should be good for quite a while, hopefully. So $50 a month for now, and then we'll probably have to bump this up in the future again, but we have a decent amount in there, so I'm not worried about it. Home, we are doing $100. Christmas, $100. $50 for our kids. I get a lot of questions about this kids sinking fund. Like, what do we use this for when we have like a kids up here? So the fun in kids is like monthly expenses. So just like random like birthday party gifts or snacks for school or anything that's like just random in that month. The kids sinking fund is what we use for like back to school, registration fees, sports fees, like the bigger stuff that we like save up for. So that's kind of the difference. I know it might be confusing, but that's just what has worked really well for us. We've been doing these sinking funds specifically for like, I want to say like at least 2 years, and they work out perfectly. I love the way that we have them set up. It took us a while to get like a good groove with the sinking funds, I feel like, but I do feel like we have a really good handle on it now. And one change that I am making permanent is I am doing $200 a month for vacation. I started doing this a few months ago. We were doing $100, I think, for like quite a while. But we are going on vacation in March, the very end of March into April. And so obviously we have a vacation coming up, so we need more. And then also just moving forward, I think we need to do $200 a month. If we want to realistically travel most years, like go on a family vacation, we're going to need more than we've been putting in there. And I usually do, like if we get, you know, a windfall of money, like if we get a tax return or if we get a bonus, usually like my end of year bonus, I do end up putting a chunk towards the vacation sinking fund. And that's probably something we'll continue doing, but we do just need more money in there if we want to keep traveling. And we do. That's something that's important to my family. So yeah, that's a permanent change that I'm making. I might even increase it again in the future, depending on if we have like an upcoming vacation that is like super expensive. We're able to travel relatively cheap because we travel hack with our credit card. We have a Southwest credit card that we travel hack with. And we pretty much always get our flights for free using that credit card. So that saves us a bunch of money. And then we also travel with, or we have traveled with my sister in the past with her family. And so when we're able to like split the Airbnbs, it's a lot cheaper. So that's kind of ways that we've been saving money on vacations in the past couple of years. And that brings our total remaining to $1,364. And that will be going towards my husband's Roth IRA. So if you guys have been watching my Debt Free Friday videos, we are planning to finish our basement remodel fund in March. So that goal will be completely done in April, and we will start my husband's Roth IRA. I actually already did start it. We had a small tax refund that I did put a big chunk of that towards. So his Roth IRA already has $1,000 for 2024 in it, and we will start adding to that this next month. So really excited about that. Roth IRAs are something that is super important to me. I'm hoping we'll be able to max them both out for, years to come. Last year was the first year that we maxed out both of our Roth IRAs. And so I'm hoping that we'll be able to do that for like the next 10, 20 years. And that will leave us in a really good spot for the future. So really excited about that. And that is all I have for you guys for our April budget. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below if you did your April budget yet, and I will talk to you guys on Friday. Bye guys.